Yep. Welcome to South Africa. It's the current situation as of yesterday in Cape Town. It's going down, guys. These are facts. It gets even crazier when they start using kids as shields. I'm not laughing, it's not funny. I'm not laughing. They're using kids as shields. I'm telling you. No more South Africa, no more. They're tired of this place. So my question is, why is their government not helping them to leave the country? Anyway, it's not what we're here for tonight. Just wanted to show you that clip. It's a clip from yesterday's riots there in Cape Town, Western Cape. Not quite sure where exactly, but it's in Western Cape. That's for sure. That I can confirm. And yeah, man. Tonight you're gonna look at Mcebo Dhlamini's comments that he had on MacG's podcast, and he seemed to have upset a lot of politicians out here. You know what I mean? Let's get right into it, man. I'm not gonna waste any more time.
They are doing exactly what they are supposed to do. They are serving the master, not us. They are not getting the mandate from us. It is not us they are serving.
No.
We are just pawns. Yeah. We mean nothing in the bigger scheme. Nobody cares about us. That's why today you will have political leaders and political parties attacking South Africans for standing up for their country. A political party, a political leader standing against the people. Then from who are you taking the mandate from?
We all know he's talking about.
You begin to realize that these people are not what they've been projecting themselves to be.
Very unfortunate.
They are gradually coming out to say, I'm not for you. There's not, it should never happen under no circumstances that a political leader of South Africa takes the sides of non-South Africans. For what good reason? How can you, as the father of your children, side with an outsider over your own children? Not unless we are saying those are not your children. You know something that we don't. Maybe you know that the children are not yours. That's why you would allow vultures to come and terrorize and eat them in your own house. When they cry to you and say, Daddy, Daddy, you're like, hey, you are dramatic. Your children are saying, we are scared. We are being terrorized here. Your children are saying to you, Daddy, when you are away at work, the people here come and rape us and molest us. You come back, you say, no, you are dramatic. These are my brothers. They will never do that. Not unless you want to tell us something. That's what we are subjected to today with these people who self-proclaim that they are leaders of society. Which society? Who are they leading? Because society is saying, these are the problems. They are coming out to say, no, we are moving with an ideology that doesn't exist.
The people who put you in position for you to be able to lead the country are the same people who are complaining about your leadership and telling you that they say, Meneer, please fix the situation. What do our parents do? They just decide to ignore our cries as their kids. And you expect the kids to continue on abiding by the rules that you've set as politicians. And then when the kids retaliate and say enough is enough, we don't want this no more, you then go ahead and tell them to stop complaining or stop throwing tantrums in the house, as if they didn't tell you in the past that they say, look man, this is gonna get out of hand, we don't get along with these siblings, Please get rid of some of them, at least the illegal ones. No, Daddy doesn't want to do that. And now Daddy is shocked that people are in the streets rioting. Make it make sense, bruh. Shocked. Those are politicians. They're shocked that the country's falling apart right now. Make it make sense. I don't know, man. I don't know what these people expect from South Africans, but except eventually push had to come to shove. We've reached that point now.
Because all these arguments of ideologies don't make sense. As long as you are bringing this ideology that you are telling us about, but doesn't speak to me, then that ideology is foreign to me.
Say that.
South Africans are saying we are unemployed. South Africans are saying there's high crime.
Yep.
South Africans are complaining with a lot of things. You are telling them about Pan-Africanism. They must eat Pan-Africanism. They must eat ideology.
It's not going to slide.
Because once the ideology is senseless, the people must reject you. You can't be trying, because, we must be careful, because the problem with this democracy that we have and the education, it has produced a lot of stupid intellectuals. That's the problem that we have. This education that we are speaking about of both vets has produced a lot of stupid intellectuals.
Yo, shots fired. You guys know.
Fools. Masquerading
you call them fools. Masquerading as what?
Because
we all know who he's talking about.
This is why it is, the true name for it is called lumpen radicalism.
Lumpen radicalism.
I'll give you the most dramatic example. You see the spaza shops of Ethiopians, Pakistanis, and Bangladesh. I think it's very small, but let's say that. They are not in town, far away. They are not in complexes per se.
Yeah.
Where are they? In your garages.
No, backyard.
Who opened the door of the garage?
South Africans.
For the Ethiopian to have a spaza shop. Who takes rent?
South Africans.
Then you leave the house and go march. How did you come to the agreement? How do they pay you such that they are engaged in this illegality? And did you say, are you documented? Did you ask those questions?
It's not South Africans' jobs to ask those questions, sir. First of all, Mr. Say, you were in parliament. I don't remember you asking Home Affairs these questions. The same questions that he's asking South Africans. I don't remember him asking Home Affairs or holding his colleagues accountable for even opening the borders in the first place. I don't remember him doing that. I don't remember him asking the SAPS or maybe even forcing the SAPS to do their job. And now, Dr. Ndlozi seems to have a problem with South Africans literally going out in the streets and forcing the government to do its job. You failed to ask the government to do their job. You failed to get the government to do its job when you were in parliament, sir. And he seems to have a problem with South Africans actually doing what he was paid to do in the first place. Bru was earning taxpayer money to literally push EFF rhetoric instead of focusing on problems at hand, at least problems that were, that South Africans were facing on the ground. I mean, for instance, Mr. Lumpen Radicalist is from not so far from where I was born and raised. Matter of fact, if I would hop on my bicycle, I could get there within, I don't know what. Let me grab quickly. Khutlo Primary School, I could get there within 20 minutes. Yeah, I could. Yeah, because it from where I was born and raised, it goes like downhill, so I could get there pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? 20 minutes. It's not too far. It's not too far. So he's aware of the problems that people are faced with in the townships, at least from where he grew up at. You know what I mean? So he's well aware of the issues that the people there in Sebokeng are faced with or experiencing. Very, very much so. These gang potholes. I mean, from Everton Mall all the way to where he was born and raised, the house he was born and raised in, that street is called Adams Road. It's full of potholes. I promise you, it's full of potholes. It's a nightmare to drive in the Vaal. Nightmare. He's aware of these issues that people are facing in the township. He's aware of this Paza shop mafia problems that people are faced with in the township. Well aware of these problems. And he has a problem with South Africans actually trying to protect their own kids from goods that are now sending kids into hospital. He has a problem with that. Make it make sense, Chad. So we should just, let it go. Like, relax, chill. You guys are being too dramatic, according to these politicians. South Africans are too dramatic. But look at this. This is the reality that South Africans are faced with.
Qinisela still. Qinisela uzoba right. Qinisela still, qinisela.
Hang in there, Dula, hang in there. A group of South African students were hospitalized for eating poisoned snacks from his Paza shop.
Red one or brown? Red one.
The man in the background is asking, did you guys buy the brown one or the red one? They're saying we bought the red one. Listen closely. And here's the thing about these social media pages that are pushing propaganda. The caption on this video reads, a group of South African students were hospitalized after eating poisoned, looted snacks from his Paza shop, owned by a foreigner. This is wrong misinformation. This food was not poisoned. I mean, this case is not related to looted snacks. These kids went to go buy, because here's the thing, right? In the comment section, when you hop in the comment section of this video, you see a lot of people calling out South Africans as, you shouldn't have, these kids shouldn't have looted in the first place. Yeah. And these are non-South Africans who are commenting all of this. Because when you listen to the video itself, when you listen to the people talking in this video, they speaking in Zulu. So the rest of the African continent does not understand Zulu. So they don't get enough context. All they see is kids chilling in a hospital, and they just slumped over because they ate, according to the caption, poisoned food that was looted from a foreigner's Paza shop, which is not the case. If you listen to what these people are saying in the background, speaking in the Zulu language that we South Africans are familiar with, they are saying that, which snacks did you kids buy? And the kids respond that we bought the red ones. And in this video, there is my friend guy, a Pakistani guy, I don't know which nationality he is exactly. He's probably Ethiopian, who knows. And he's in there with the kids as well, and they're asking him questions. But in the comment section, people are making fun of these kids. People are making fun of these kids, talking about, they shouldn't have looted, when they didn't loot in the first place. The person who wrote this caption, you can already tell for a fact this person just loves spreading misinformation about what's going on in the country. And that's why these channels like this one, that you need to be subscribed to, and I know you're not subscribed to it, because you didn't even click the like button when you came in. That's how I know that you're not even subscribed yet. Click the like button before I continue with this rant, because there's no way you're going to have platforms like this that spread misinformation about South Africa, and I'm just going to sit back and slide and let it happen. It's not going to happen. Listen to the conversation that they have in the background, and you will hear that these people were poisoned from buying snacks that were sold by a Paza shop, and the person who might be the perpetrator is in the room as well. Listen carefully. I'll translate for the parts that you probably miss because you're not a Zulu speaking African. No problem, I got you. All of these kids, including the ones on the other side of the room, they ate these snacks. We should probably start with those ones on the other side.
Red one or brown? Red one.
Did you kids buy the brown one or the red one? We bought the red one. What are we gonna do now?
Sitting. What
are we gonna do when things are like this?
When
Yeah, that is why I have seen it in voice everything.
This is my friend saying that. My friend is on the left side of the screen. He's saying that these kids bought these snacks from Anya. The lady is saying, yeah, in that case you must go to Anya then. So this, my friend, is snitching on another foreigner's spaza shop owner or whatever. Snitching on him, saying that say these kids didn't buy from my shop, they bought from Anya.
Yabona njeke manje.
You see now,
Eyami le ingane le khala.
this is my child that's crying.
Lena nje le khala njengamanje yami.
The child that's crying is mine.
You're solid broken, I know.
Mommy is heartbroken.
Stay there next to my
The child that's crying is mine.
Yeah.
Lento lena wedudu le bekumele mina ngiqale police station nehleniye kezana.
Ladies, you should have started at the police station. That's what she
So
said.
into manje kumele siyenze ileyo vele. Sekumele siye police station.
That's the one thing that we must be doing right now. We must go to the police station.
Bese yena eya lapho bekuzocheck amalona yale.
And these are the people that politicians such as Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is advocating for. And parents must just sit back and listen to him tell us to relax. We are just being lumpen radical. What the hell does that even mean? The last thing we need is a whole doctor, a whole learned person to come tell us that we must relax when these are the issues that we're dealing with in the townships. What is he waiting for? Is he waiting for the same problem to happen in his family? God forbid. Is that when he's gonna start, realizing that we have a spaza shop problem in the country, calling South Africans lumpen radicality, whatever that word is? I could care less to try even to look up that word. I did look it up. I still don't understand what it means. Are you kidding me? Listen to this man disrespect us.
That's the phenomena of let's chase the spaza shops out. But it's a mutual economy. They're not free standing.
Mr. David, you and I both know that these people are in bed with the same criminals who are taking over this country. I know you've seen what's been going on there, or whatever has been exposed there in the Madanga Commission. These people are in bed with people who are running some very, very, very serious business in the country. Remember, the biggest cop, the former biggest cop in the country, the dark-skinned timer. He used to wear this cowboy hat. Yeah. I know you know who I'm talking about. I mean, he was also exposed. Talking about he once spent a night at a criminal's hotel or whatever, or apartment. Yeah, he was very proud of it. You know what I mean? So these politicians are obviously going to protect the people that they're eating with. They're looking out for their interest as well. These politicians have kids as well. These politicians have families. These politicians have debts. You know what I'm saying? These politicians signed very, very hefty contracts in the background that you and I don't know about. These politicians take favors from criminals. I mean, there was this one politician who got a whole wall built for his house. A whole gigantic wall. And in exchange for that, he made sure that people got tenders for building him a huge wall. I mean, there's some politicians who got favors such as getting their whole yards fenced with electric wire so that people don't just jump in. Those are expensive type of favors, if you ask me. I could go the whole day with these examples. But I just wanted to play this clip of this politician disrespecting South Africans before we go any further.
They are your business transactions. They are your business. They are in the community. You are the landlords.
And you, politicians, are the landlords of the country. These people would have never made it into the townships if you, landlords of the country, had closed up the borders instead of opening them post-94. It's so convenient for somebody who was in parliament, who was responsible for playing Mr. Landlord for the country, them literally sleeping on the job and having these people infiltrate the township. And if we, as the township, have exactly what we were trained to have and practice, which is Ubuntu, Now he's making fun of us now. Now he's calling us and pointing the finger back at us that say, it's your fault, South Africans, for letting these people in your townships in the first place. You are the ones who let them in your yard. He's pointing the finger back at us, South Africans, as if they didn't sleep on the job in the first place. These people wouldn't even be here in the first place if you guys did your job in Parliament. The nerve of this man. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Can you believe it? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Sometimes I'll be thinking, sometimes I'm watching these videos and I'm thinking, guys, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe my analysis is not accurate. I'll be watching these videos and I'm thinking, maybe this guy has a point. I mean, he's a doctor after all, right? He has to be smart. I mean, maybe should I do more reading? I start questioning my intelligence or my analysis. But when you really think about it, being a doctor doesn't mean you're smart. Being a doctor doesn't mean you're smart, man. At least you might be book smart, but practically, like, as far as being a practical thinker, you are not going to do that to South Africans. You're not going to point the finger back at us as if it's our fault that these people jumped the border. It's not South Africans' fault. South Africans contributed their fair share of fixing the issue through taxes, through appointing certain politicians that we believed would actually cover the country with a safety blanket to make sure that whoever comes in the legal way. Whatever comes in the country comes in the legal way, and whatever comes in the country is something that's going to benefit the country instead of there being R1 billion worth of drugs entering the borders of South Africa without us even knowing. We had to get a tip off for us to know about that. Imagine, bro. But no, it's our fault, right? What else is he going to say? Is he going to say that it's your fault, South Africans, for having drugs in your community in the first place? Because why did you even rent out drug dealers spaces in your communities? When the main thing should be, why is there drugs in the country that's coming from Malawi in the first place, Mr. Mbheki? Guys, what are we talking about? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm crazy at this point. I need to stop doing these videos.
Stupid intellectuals, fools, masquerading as intellectuals, because they want to think that they see things differently from the reality that we all see. And they want to project and profile themselves as if they are the real thinkers for society, as if those who are uneducated, unemployed can think for themselves.
Bro,
these people are raising issues that affect them. And they are not speaking about now. They are speaking about the future. To say, what type of South Africa will this be in 10 years? What? You look at it. We are being squeezed out in all informal or formal business.
Bro.
We are squeezed out, literal. Now, you have leaders who then will come and say, these are your future employers.
Bro.
What? Why should the illegal foreigners be future employers of the South Africans, not the South Africans employing them?
In a country that's dominated by South Africans in the first place. Isn't that the apartheid system? The minority being the white man employing the majority, which is the black man in South Africa. Wasn't it the apartheid system? And Julius Malema is telling us that your future employers is people who are going to come outside of South Africa. So your future employers is going to be the minority again. So you South Africans, the only thing you're good for is working for either a white man or a foreigner, according to your favorite politician, Cedric. That's what your favorite politician said to us, Cedric. And I'm glad you're in here because I have to blame somebody for these things. I have to point the finger at somebody. Welcome, Cedric. I have to blame somebody for this nonsense. I have to. You're the only person that I can pick on at this point. Because I wish I could talk to these politicians directly and say, sir, but I don't support this and the third. But they're not here. I don't have access to Julius Malema. I have access to Cedric though. So Cedric, take my backlash.
Employers. These people are going to hire you. Stop hating.
Say, hold on.
On your
Hold on. You can say whatever you want about Julius Malema. This guy is funny. You can say whatever you want about Julius, but watching this man talk is bruh. I'm telling you, bruh. Grab some popcorn. Get ready to laugh with me.
stop hating on your future employers. These people are going to hire you. They are the most polite people.
They are the most polite people. Julius Malema says our future employers are very polite. These people are very polite. Very polite people, for sure. Rioting in the streets of South Africa. One thing that you will never see them doing in their countries. Never. What? You get slapped in Zimbabwe right now. You get slapped in Zimbabwe right now. What? Ask any Zimbabwean, they'll tell you, say, cops in Zimbabwe are feared. They're very, very respected. You're not gonna malfunction when a cop is around. No way. All this thing that you see in South Africa of teenagers and young adults holding beers in public, you'll never see that in Zimbabwe. You get slapped today. One of the boys told me that in Zimbabwe, when the cops are looking for somebody who committed crime, they go to that person's house. They tell the family that say, Mama, look, how you doing, mommy? Hey, we're looking for your son. Please, here's a letter. Please give him this letter. Tell him that he must come to the police station. Please, Mama, make sure that he gets this letter. They say that if you don't go to the police station when the cops came to your mom's house, when they come back to that house, somebody has to pay for your sins. Somebody has to pay for you're gonna have to bring yourself to that police station. This bro told me that say one police officer can literally control a whole group of men. One police officer in Zimbabwe can control a whole group of men because they understand the assignment that say this bro is gonna trap you. There's consequences when you disrespect a Zimbabwean soldier or Zimbabwean officer. That's why you won't see Zimbabweans rioting in Zimbabwe. You won't see them doing this in Zimbabwe. You won't see foreigners doing this in Nigeria. Well, recently they've started because Jacinta actually pressed them to riot for the problems that they have in their country. I mean, recently, they just started rioting now, but you won't see these people doing this in Malawi. You won't see them doing this.
That's an insult to our people.
And in your eyes, what do you think the solution is? Because it's getting to a point, I don't know if you agree, Penduka, where it's like now it's every man for himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the government has let us down. But what do we do as citizens? Because we still need to stay here.
It's our home.
It's our home.
We don't have anywhere else to go.
Look, South Africans have no choice but to fight.
Unfortunately.
And fortunately is that they are fighting for the same cause. Yes, every revolution gets hijacked. It will be hijacked. There will be opportunists. There are opportunists everywhere. March on March will be hijacked. It will be disturbed, distracted. People
don't speak in the future tense. Don't say it will be hijacked. Speak in the present tense. Rather say that March on March is already hijacked, sir.
Regarding March to March, in our belief, everything that March to March does is within the constitutional parameters. There's absolutely nothing which they do which is illegal. If anything, they are dealing with crime.
Haven't you seen the MK party literally going to every single March and March protest? Haven't you seen the MK party? Mr. Dhlamini, why are you saying that March and March will be? Don't speak in the future tense. Speak about today, present. Say March and March is already hijacked by politics or politicians trying to make it a cause of their own. Listen to what this man says.
which the police have failed dismally to deal with. Foreigners,
What did he say? I'm going to play it back because you probably missed it. Listen closely.
there's absolutely nothing which they do which is illegal. If anything, they are dealing with crime,
That's March and March, yes.
which the police have failed dismally to deal with.
So March and March is dealing with crime which the police have failed to do or to deal with. Alright, cool. So basically he's saying that March and March is doing what we as politicians failed to enforce. No problem, keep going.
Foreigners, illegal foreigners, have taken over some areas or some parts of our towns and cities. And they've reduced them to nothing but centers of crime. They are areas which have been surrendered by South Africans
Yep.
because of illegal immigrants.
Yes.
Because our understanding here is that March to March is not fighting against legal immigrants.
True story.
They are fighting against people who have broken the law.
And why are you not telling that to your colleagues? If March and March is fighting against people who've broken the law by being in the country illegally in the first place, then why haven't you told that to your red colleagues? Your colleagues are the ones that are telling South Africans and the rest of the world that South Africans are breaking the law by trying to stop crime and marching in the streets of South Africa. Your colleagues are telling South Africans that they are xenophobic. But I've never seen you, sir. I've never seen you speaking on behalf of South Africans to tell your colleague to shut up. And everything that he's talking about happened under his nose. Everything that he's talking about that March and March is trying to stop and protect in this country happened under his watch. So before March and March, what were you doing? What were you doing, sir? I'm talking to you. Shame on you. Shame on him. What was he doing? What were you doing? Before March and March was a thing, what did you do to stop the rot that we faced with right now? Because March and March was not supposed to exist in the first place if you did your job.
If you are called an illegal immigrant, it means you have broken the law. Because you are here illegally in this country. You are not supposed to be here. And the state finds it difficult to trace those people when they've committed crime. Because what they do, they steal cars here and cross the borders with those cars.
Same thing that we discussed 2 days ago about the situation that we faced with there in Mpumalanga. You guys saw the Mpumalanga protest yesterday. People are tired of their cars jumping the border there. People are tired of their cars always disappearing, and every time they track the vehicle, it's on the other side of the country. Mozambique, gone. You're not getting it back. All of this is happening under your government, sir. Don't be fooled by a change of attire, South Africans. Cedric, don't be fooled, Mr. David, by the change of stripes. A cat will always be a cat. You get rid of the stripes, it's now a lion. You add a few dots, it's now a cheetah. Still a cat regardless. These people are still ANC. This gentleman here was in the ANC. Facts. All of these people that are from MK party, where do they come from? All of the people that are in the EFF party, where do they come from? They didn't come out of nowhere. They came from the ANC itself. These are the offspring of the ANC government. That's why they have the same ideologies. That's why they talk the same language. And that's why you'll never hear them holding each other accountable for anything. They have dirt on each other. Serious dirt. So whatever it is that you see online of them going back and forth with, that is nothing compared to what they have in their closets. Allegedly. South Africans will never know about these things. These people are in bed together. Back in the day, Jacob Zuma told us that, say, South Africans, one day I'm going to tell you exactly what's been going on in Parliament. We still wait until this day for Jacob Zuma to tell us what he wanted to tell us. He still hasn't told us yet. He said there's a lot of corruption in the ANC, and he threatened to tell South Africans about the rot that's going on in the ANC. Because back then, he was getting a lot of pressure from his colleagues. A lot of pressure to get off his presidency. And he's like, let me come out, let me threaten to come out with the information. Let me see what my colleagues are going to do. They let him slide because they saw that Jacob Zuma was not bluffing. Till this day, South Africa is still waiting for Jacob Zuma to tell us what he wanted to tell us. Big shout out to Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. He eventually was like, you know what? I'm tired of these guys. I'm tired of holding back. If it wasn't for him, we still wouldn't have known what's going on in Parliament. And mind you, they haven't even scratched the surface yet. This gentleman over here knows a lot of secrets. But is he ever going to tell us? Of course not. Why would he poop in the same bowl that he eats in?
And it's not easy to trace them. What they do, they come here and establish drug cartels.
Under whose government? Under whose government? Under whose watch? Do not hijack March and March's movement. This is not your movement. You guys failed to do your job. This is not about politics anymore. We are done with politicians. It's chai. Leave us alone. Leave South Africans alone. I still encourage South Africans to go vote, however. I still encourage South Africans to go vote just to cause a frenzy there in Parliament. Just to drive them crazy. Just go vote for any party that will replace the current ruling GNU government. Please, I'm begging you. If we as South Africans can take power away from the GNU government and take it to a whole nother party, I would appreciate it. I would really, really appreciate it. Just to cause a ruckus, just to shake things up in there. But we should not forget about the main objective. The main objective is to clean up this country and literally do it without politicians. Please, I'm begging you. Do not be fooled by these people trying to tell you that, like, say, we support March. They don't support March and March. I promise you, they do not support March and March. They hate it. They hate it. There's no politician in the country that supports March and March. They'll only say it just to score votes. Fact! Why would I lie?
And criminal syndicates.
Shut up, bro.
Because if you come with good intentions here in the country, in South Africa, why do you not register with Home Affairs? What are you hiding? It means you coming here is not done in good faith. It's in bad faith. That is why you are breaking the law.
Yo, hold on. Well, if we're talking strategy, this is a great strategy to use when it comes to like getting votes in the next election. I mean, what else are you going to use to campaign with? What else is the MK going to use to campaign with? You know what? Jacinta is a nice thing going on. Let's maybe, support her, and maybe we might get a couple of votes from Jacinta's movement. I mean, at least that's what I would have done if I was him. So I guess I'll have to give him props for that. Unfortunately, I'll have to give him props for that, for actually realizing that, we have no leg to stand on whatsoever. What's the next best thing that we can actually, use as a stepping stone to get to where we want to be, as far as getting above the 15% that we got in the previous election? I can't shame him for that. I'm sorry, I can't shame him for that. But still, shame on you. Shame on you.
So we sympathize with the struggle of March and March, unapologetically so. Because we believe that they stand for the correct thing, which as the MK party also are standing for. We are against illegal immigrants.
Oh, now you're against illegal immigrants. Okay, fair. Say less. Say less. now you are, right? Oh, okay. I mean, what? Weren't you already against illegal migrants before Jacinta spoke about it? And if you were, what did you do about it? Absolutely nothing. Because Jacinta wouldn't be the biggest voice of South Africans right now if you did something about it. Do not be fooled by politicians. I beg you, please. Cedric, please, my guy.
Will be planted there. It's part of the system. But the only thing we can do is to continue encouraging our people to fight, because that's the only thing we have.
And when you say fight, what does that mean? Like, you're not talking about physical. What do you, just to expand on that?
Well, I wouldn't disregard physically. When a push comes to a shove, people must be ready to be physical. But it is always the last resort. There is no revolution that was ever peaceful.
Never.
I've never heard of a peaceful revolution.
No.
It doesn't exist. It's the same thing that you can only hear being spoken by Thabo Mbeki when a Bemin wherever like Bemekon in Sang pipi. Then he comes to speak with so much conviction.
Hey, bro.
Then you will assume that he's making sense. And he has created a lot of other minions who are trying to emulate him.
Hey, bro.
We're in trouble. Because there are a lot of duplicates of Mbeki. Now they speak like him. We're like, oh my God. Sifelelo.
Yo, shots fired. Pa, 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 pa. And Losi, take that.
But our people, they must sharply raise discomfort. Because we have a tendency of, even when we are squeezed, even when we are pressed, we keep quiet. Because we are scared of being labeled xenophobic. We are scared of being called this and that.
South Africans don't care about that no more. Read the room. Read the room. South Africans don't care about that no more. Trust me. Every other day there's a new video of a gigantic protest that's going on in a different part of the country. Clearly Mbuyiseni Ndlozi hasn't been in his hometown in a very long time, because he wouldn't be saying South Africans are radical, lumpen radicalists. Whatever that means. Anyway.
Up until the damage is massive, people must raise discomfort. I can tell you now that ever since the protest began, they've pushed government to do its work. They have done that. The March on March, ever since it started in January in Abington, the school in Durban.
Abington.
They got those kids admitted there. They pushed government to begin to look at the admissions in those schools.
You guys remember that situation with those South African kids who couldn't get placement in school because the school had a majority foreign national capacity?
I was going to engage with them when I leave. We had no learner up to yesterday afternoon who has not been placed but has been brought to the attention, one, of the school or of the Department of Health regarding admission in and around eThekwini.
But March and March leader Jacinta Ngobese Zuma says many children are still waiting to be placed.
Well, we're here today because the school had said that they're going to give us feedback today on a Wednesday with regards to the 63 children that we had asked for space for at Addington School, which is a school dominated by foreigners. We heard the department speaking, and they justified by saying that it's because of the population in the area, and that is not enough justification for us, because if there's parents who are South African that need a space in a South African school, those parents and those children need to take priority. When we came here, we came with the children, and the department was unhappy that we brought the children that need space. Because we wanted to show that this is practically what we're talking about, children standing here wanting to get an education, but they can't. So they quickly grab the children to take them inside, I think because obviously there's too many cameras and media, and they wouldn't want to appear that way. So we're here waiting for them to tell us what's going on inside with the parents, and then we'll know what to do from there.
The protesters have vowed to continue their protest until their demands are met. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Durban.
So ask yourself, how did we get here in the first place? How did we get to a point where there has to be protests outside of South African public schools for parents to entice or initiate conversation around their kids not getting placements in countries they were born in countries where their ancestors fought for these type of privileges in the first place? How do we get to a point where March and March had to go to this primary school and force the education department to hear these parents' cries? Because before March and March, I promise you, these parents tried their best to get these kids in these schools without the help of any type of organization such as March and March. But they were ignored, Chad. They were ignored. You guys remember the situation back in January? You guys remember the situation back in Feb? Why? Because your favorite politician, Cedric, your favorite political party decided to open up the public schools of South Africans to undocumented foreigners' kids. That's what your government decided to do. You guys remember the Bella Bill? The same Bella Bill that Julius Malema was fighting for to be put in place. The whole country was strong-armed into believing that the Bella Bill is a positive thing. Yes, yeah. When AfriForum, when the DA was against the Bella Bill, you guys called them racists. You guys, Cedric, you called them racists. You guys called AfriForum and the DA political party racist for speaking against the Bella Bill. When the DA told you that this Bella Bill is unfair to South African citizens because it's gonna cause a problem in the country to a point where South African kids are gonna have to compete for placement in their tax paid schools in their home country, in their home townships. You guys called them racist when they said that. Julius Malema strong-armed the whole country to make us believe that the Bella Bill has to be put in place. A few months later, or when January hit, South Africans immediately were hit with the "I told you so." Immediately. But you did not see or hear Julius Malema coming back outside to say, hold on, why are South African kids not getting placement in school? He did not do that. Because he doesn't serve South Africans' best interests. That's not what he's there for. All he wanted was foreigner kids to get access to public schools in South Africa. He achieved his goal. And he used you South Africans, to put that thing in place in the first place. I remember the DA was not vouching for it. The DA was like, no, we can't afford this. Julius Malema was like, oh yeah, you see now, you're racist. You don't want the black child to be educated. And you know South Africans, right? Once we talk about race, once we put in race politics, once we talk about that guy's racist, South Africans jump on it. Yeah, they are racist. Without even looking into the situation, into the matter attentively enough and critically enough. Without detaching themselves from the dramatic aspect of the whole act in the first place, of it being racist. All South Africans had to do was take a step back, pause for a minute, listen to what the DA is saying, listen to what the EFF is saying. How is this going to affect South Africans going forward in the future? No, of course not. That's not how South Africans think. Hell nah. Just tell them about race. Just tell them that guy is racist. I'm telling you, you got there. You got them. Race politics in this country, number one. Start a party. Yo, Cedric, start a party right now with David. Start a party right now with David. And just talk about race. Just talk about race. You're gonna get votes. You're going to get votes. Immediately when January hit and black South Africans started complaining that they say, we don't have any, our kids didn't get any schools, what's going on? The DA was like, I told you so. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, I told you so. Now we have this going on all over the country.
And then we'll know what to do from there.
The protesters.
And it's going to be a problem every single year. So long as this Bella Bill thing is still in place.
They push government to begin to look at the admissions in those schools, the policies in those schools. They have pushed Home Affairs to review their own policies. It would be a lie to say there's no significant achievement that March on March have done. They have been the biggest success of every mass mobilization is the consciousness of the citizens. That's the biggest achievement of any mass mobilization. Get the people talking. Doesn't matter, Penduga, where you are. Everyone is talking about this thing.
Yes.
Whether it's in the saloon.
Yeah.
Whether you are playing golf in the clubs, in the taxis, at home with your nephews. Everyone is talking about it. They have brought this debate in the public discourse.
Yeah.
That is an achievement. We are speaking about it robustly, and we will achieve.
I wanted to ask you, bro, do you not think as South Africans we have a savior complex, right? And I want to give you a context, right?
Talk about it.
You mentioned an example earlier on about you're there with your parents leave you, and then you're there with your brother and your sister, whatever, and then they come home and like they're doing this and they're like, no, you're being dramatic, whatever.
Yeah.
So do you not think that there is a world where us as the kids come together, unite, right, and not be so dependent on our parents because they failed us and they will continue to fail us. So it's there's no point in relying them to come save us, right? And then we, as the citizens, collectively unite and come up with solutions. So, for example, start our own banks, start our own schools, start our own things without even depending on them because they're going to do whatever they're going to do, regardless of.
That's another conversation for. That's a conversation for a different segment or a different episode of the show. What up, Dways? What up, my boy? I'm nice in Fanakasan. Wamfuman. Yo, you feel what I'm saying? MacG is talking about something that should have been done a long time ago. Because the white man has already built a university using their own money, not state money. Shout out to Solidarity. They were talking about say, we only want this to be an Afrikaans school. We're going to teach in Afrikaans because we built this university with our money. So whether you like it or not, South Africans, if you can't speak the language, you can't get into that school. Fair enough. That's fair. Is that not fair? Varna too. We are going to fuck around and build our own Uber. We're going to operate our own Bolt. They made their own Uber. They made their own Bolt. And now they're telling you that say, if you want to work in our Varna 2 app, you better know how to speak Afrikaans. We're not saying that you can't join our app, but you have to be fluent in Afrikaans. I'm telling you, people who are upset. And then the white folks simply ask South Africans a simple question. Alright, cool. If you guys are so upset, then why haven't you built your own apps? Why haven't you built your own universities? The white folk are going to start building their own hospitals. They're going to start building a whole lot of things. This is only the beginning. This is only the start of what they're going to continue investing in for their people. You as the black folk, you failed yourselves. You failed yourselves. Black folk are struggling to organize themselves. Shout out to the Brews back in the Val, my hometown. Them Brews decided to put together a couple of coins. To be exact, those 350 grants or social grants that have been handed out to South Africans who are unemployed. They decided to put those together and start a whole bakery. That shit blew up like crazy. He was even invited by MacG to come talk about it here on the MacG podcast. Just to prove that, say, even a mere 350 can build a $500,000 rand empire in a matter of 6 months, literally. Now they're planning on delivering to spaza shops. Hopefully by then, those spaza shops would be South African owned, hopefully. But they're trying to get in bed with the spaza shop owners so they can be able to deliver this bread. And they said it's like, what, $13? A loaf of bread, $13? It's nice looking. It's branded nicely, you know what I'm saying? It's looking all professional and shit. At least there's hope. At least there's, an example that's been set, a blueprint that has been set to say, look, if we organize a couple of rands here and there, we can actually start something and do something that's worthwhile. That's literally all the white people have been doing. We can't wait for the government to build our Orania. We're going to build our own Orania. Leave those people alone. Leave the white folk alone. They are doing what your government failed to do. And you are just mad at them when you should be mad at your government, you bugging. How much money does the government have? How much land does the government have? How much land does the Ngwenyama Trust have? They in KZN. How much land do these kings that we have all over the country, how much land do they have? And what are they doing with that land? But you have the cojones to criticize the white folk for building their own university on property, on land that they, maybe we could argue the fact that they stole it or whatever, or they got it for cheap or for free, whatever. Hosalang, they managed to take a piece of land and build and erect something out of it that will benefit their people for the next couple of generations to come. Because South Africans did have things going on nicely for them. Things were actually mint condition in South Africa, if you peep it closer. We had all of these things. Am I lying? We had South Africa, black South Africans had all of these things in the township. Where are they now? You know how many times I sit down with an older McG or an older timer, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who was actually on the ground during apartheid. You know what I challenge you to go talk to your granny. Go talk to any elder that was alive during the apartheid days. Ask them to compare the standard of living, the quality of living. Ask them to compare it to today. And this is what they're going to tell you. At least this is what my mom told me. This is what my uncle told me. This is what my grandparents told me. This is what the timer that's sitting next to me in a taxi is telling me.
The youth of this country, that apartheid was better than democracy. Not everything that happened under apartheid was bad, Baba. We had sports stars during apartheid. People we produced playing Nabopeli. Who's playing with Messi today? Education. We had artisan schools. People do plumbing, motor mechanism, welding. All those things we produced under apartheid. Teachers, nurses colleges, doctors colleges. We had those things. Go arts we were producing, Baba. Bo Ipintombi, Manhattan Brothers, Mcebo at international level. Not people singing in nightclubs. Boxers, we had Thabo School Point Club. We had Thabo Samuels Kosana, Peter Terra Matebola, even Gunma athletes. Abo Jake Ntuli. We have Parakwana, it was the biggest hospital in the world. We're doing Abo heart transplant, including our homelands. Homelands were performing better than
South Africa won the AFCON Cup in 96.
They are doing now. Manyaleti Game Resort or Game Reserve. Mkababa Beach. We had our own things, separate development. You can argue and say, you know what, ours were not up to standards facilities, but we had them.
My granny told me that back in the day, when you went to the clinic, you had a queue for the white folk, you had a queue for the black folk, or maybe a separate clinic for each race or whatever. My granny told me that when you pulled up at the clinic, you'd get medication. Tell me right now if you do get medication when you go to the clinic today. In a public clinic, do you get medication, yes or no?
Bicycle lanes, stadiums, Colosseum stadiums, halls. People could dance. We had dancers, people dancing, Baba, winning.
How many halls did you guys are sleeping? You guys are bugging, bro. Are you guys kidding me, bro? You guys are telling me that you guys forgot of all the things that we once enjoyed in the townships. You guys are forgetting that we used to have swimming pools in the townships. Deep in the town, we used to have swimming pools in the townships and not Olympic size swimming pool. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but you get what I'm trying to say. We had working swimming pools with blue water, clean blue water. You'd pay like what, 2 rands to get in, 5 rands to get in. We had sports grounds. Bro, this country was lit when I was a baby. When I was going to Jozi, I knew I'm going to wear Jozi. It's my first time going to Jozi. Boy, I need to smell nice. And, I need to be clean, man. You know what I'm saying? It's an occasion going to Johannesburg. Tell me how you feel when you're in Johannesburg today. How do you feel?
Competition in the world. We had swimmers, people going to Japan, doing karateka, black belts. Who's a karateka now?
Who's a karateka now? One day on a stream, I'll maybe bring an album that's full of my dad's old pictures. My dad wasn't in the best situation ever, but at least these blues had access to things that today black South Africans don't have access to. Because how? The ANC government ran these things down to the ground. The same solidarity that you guys are complaining about, that why is it Afrikaans speaking only that's allowed in the university? That same university is the same university that people are gonna start rioting to get access to. At least Julius Malema hinted on it a couple of months ago, if not late last year. He hinted when he started criticizing solidarity to say it's racist. Why is it only Afrikaans? Why is it only... Trust me, in a couple of years from now, and MacG and him, they spoke about it as well, that in a couple of years from now, black South Africans are going to start rioting to get access to solidarity, forgetting that the apartheid government handed over everything that was already built. In the townships, we had technicons in the townships. We had school facilities where kids could get taught skills. What happened to those facilities? What happened to those technicons? They got ran down to the ground. How? Your favorite politicians, Dways, your favorite politicians, Cedric, decided to underfund those institutions. When politicians start talking about underfunding and cutting down budgets, you must start getting a bit worried, because that simply means that if that money is not going to that institution or that initiative, it's going to somebody's pockets. Fact! They started underfunding these technicons, and what happened to them? Are they still alive? Are they still around today? Fuck no, of course not. They ran them shits down to the ground. They did. They gone. It's high. It's chai. And then the same politicians have the nerve to call South Africans lazy and unskilled and uneducated, when they're the ones who got the best education during apartheid, the same education that their kids today, or us as the youth, don't have access to today. These universities used to be lit back then. They talk about these things here on the podcast on MacG. They talk about these things on this podcast. I just don't have time to get through them, because there's another stream that I'm going to have to start in 15 minutes, which I know for a fact you have to join. Because in that stream, we're going to be discussing the shenanigans that are going on there in Blackflat, Mpumalanga, where there was a drug bust. Oh, no, not a drug bust. Just look at the Blackflat thumbnail or the next video that's going to be linked to this one when this one ends. Just look at it. You'll see what we're going to be discussing there. Your favorite politicians, Cedric, ran these institutions to the ground. These people on this podcast here, Mcebo Dhlamini and MacG and them, they talk about Baragwana Hospital, that it used to be the best hospital in the whole entire continent. Your favorite politicians ran it down to the ground. And then you have the nerve to criticize these brews when they decide to build their own school, when they decide to build their own apps, when they decide to build their own Vagnatu app so they can, make sure that their families and friends are safe when they hop in a car that's an e-hailing service. When they hop in a car, they can make sure that when something criminal occurs, they can be able to track down the criminal that did whatever they did. The same Uber that our government let into the country fails to protect South Africans. The same Bolt that's operating in South Africa fails to protect South Africans. When South Africans complain about these e-hailing services, that we are losing money. Money is getting stolen from our accounts, and when you check your statement, you had an Uber that's like what, 1,500 rands? That's from here to where? Midrand? The fuck? The same Uber Eats apps, the same one that your favorite Mlando dancer, your favorite Amapiano artist was complaining about, saying that, when did I order so much food? Your government let these businesses operate in our country, and they never hold them accountable when they steal from South Africans. So when the white man says we're gonna build our own Uber Eats, we're gonna build our own Uber e-hailing service, you guys are calling them racist? Shut up! Shut up, Cedric. Kurt, what's going on, my boy? I didn't see you. Shut up, Kurt. How dare you criticize these folks for looking out for their people? How dare you criticize these folks for building systems for their children? Maybe it's because you black folk are just bitter. Maybe you're just bitter and mad at the fact that your black government is failing to build these systems for you. Now you're gonna hate on the next man for investing his own money to make sure that he built a strong, solid, comfortable foundation for their babies. You bugging. Shame on you. Tired of these people. And then you have the nerve to be putting on a politician's t-shirt. Next time when I see any of you people on this chat right now, Cedric, if I see you wearing a politician's t-shirt, yo, Dways, you better burn that shandies, boysy. I don't want to see a single South African who is in my age group, a youth, somebody who's under the age of 35 wearing a politician's t-shirt. I'd be mad. I don't want to see that shit. Please, take it off, burn it. I beg, please, burn it. Only South Africans can save South Africa at this point. March and March showed us that only South Africans can save South Africa at this point. Don't tell me about no politician. But I still encourage everybody to vote, just to cause a ruckus day in Parliament. Just to make them go, fight for power. Power that they know for a fact at this point that they'll never be able to exercise. Because now the people are governing. What are you guys talking about in the chat here? Bar is in shambles, Buta. Bar is in shambles, my guy. You feel what I'm saying? Cedric, you guys are playing with me, bro. You guys are on this live every single day, not listening to me. You guys act like everything that I'm saying is just crazy rhetoric. And it's like, hold on, what do you mean? I'm on the ground. I'm a South African. I live here. Sharp, I might not be a doctor like your favorite politician, Mbheki Dhlamini. But I can think critically. I can be able to see that, say, man, this one is a lie, this one, man. This one is lying, this one is trying to cause division. Why are they saying that Ndlamulo's death was because he didn't know Tsonga? Hold on, I thought that Tsonga folk... No, yeah. Hold on. What do you mean that Ndlamulo's death was related to him not being able to speak Xhosa? Hold on, I thought that Tsonga folk can speak like 10 languages out of the 11 that we have in the country. A 19-year-old who used to attend school in a Xhosa community, you telling me that he wasn't able to figure out the Xhosa language? Even a slow learner is able to figure out languages. Stop playing with me. But no, the rest of the country was like, yeah. You know why? Because South Africans love race politics. South Africans love when you talk about division. They love it. I'm tired of you guys. I'm tired of South Africans. Lambora. 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 Think independently. Stop waiting for the next man to tell you what you need to think or how to think. Y'all are waiting for politicians to tell you, oh yeah, today we're gonna walk to Gandhi Square. People start walking to Gandhi Square. Did anybody stop to ask this politician why are we walking to Gandhi Square in the first place? And why are we walking there in the first place? Like, can't we drive? Can't we get a bus? Nobody asked these questions. South Africans are like, oh yeah. Dlamini was killed because he couldn't speak Xhosa. Idiots! You guys are dumb. I'm tired. I'm done. On to the next stream. I'm late. Catch you guys in 10 minutes. Catch you guys in 10 minutes.